All right, we are off to the races with a ancient starring off of a Pendlehaven. We've got Kevin T on Hardened Scales versus Brendan R on Boros Convoke. Both of these players are 1-0. This is round 2. We've got 27 players here at Impact Gaming Center in the fantastic Fairview Heights. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, hang out, chat with me. Definitely love that. But we have Thraben Inspector and a Midnight for Brendan and a pass back. I think the jig is up here for Brendan. We know what he's playing. Kevin knows what he's playing. All right, we've got Urza Saga into Patchwork Automaton. And a welding jar that's going to trigger, put a +1/+1 counter on Patchwork Automaton, and a pass back. Brendan untaps. Can't quite see what's in his hand. That is an Arid Mesa. He's going to crack. Go down to 19. All right. Now that we actually have the life total available, Brendan down to 16. And another Thraben Inspector. It's going to trigger another clue. Down to 15. And Kuldotha Rebirth. There's 3 Gobos. Brendan doing exactly what he needs to be doing here. Do we have one of our payoffs? That's the big question. Right now, we're passing back to Kevin. Kevin's got some goodies in his hand. Like a Gemstone Caverns. Arcbound Ravager, Walking Ballista. That is a Hardened Scales from Warhammer. Check this out. We can zoom in. If a +1/+1 counter would be put onto a creature, you get to put an additional +1/+1 counter onto that creature. Arcbound Ravager enters the battlefield. Triggers all around. Thanks to Hardened Scales. Patchwork Automaton getting 2. Arcbound Ravager obviously getting 2. Brendan in the tank here. Windswept Heath, he's going to take a point of damage. Go to 14. And what's Brendan going to grab? Looks like just a plains. All right. Loses another life. Ooh, and there's a Bushwhacker kick that's going to give all of his creatures +1/+0 and haste until the end of the turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 power coming Kevin's way. How does he want to deal with this massive attack? Goblin Bushwhacker not available to the Pioneer version of this deck. There are a lot of really nice upgrades when you play it in Modern. Gonna block one of the Inspectors, the foil one, of course. And then it looks like Kevin's gonna drop down to 8, so 12 points of damage coming straight through in one fell swoop. There's a Saga, gonna trigger. Looks like we're just making mana. And there it is. Nice job, Kevin. Always helping out the production crew. All right, there's Zaz. Zabaz. It's got module 1. Basically has Hardened Scales ability. And then for a red, you can destroy target artifact you control. And then for a white, it gains flying until end of turn. And here's an attack for 7. Down to 3, no blocks from Brendan. And I think that means death for Brendan, unfortunately. So Kevin gonna take game 1 here at Impact Gaming Center. This is Modern. We have 27, as I said, in the house, and probably about 50 people out there right now. We have a 22,000 square foot facility. Come on down if you're in the St. Louis area. We are located at 49 Ludwig Drive in the fantastic Fairview Heights, Illinois, about 20 minutes from downtown St. Louis. But yeah, come on out. We're open till midnight tonight. And we will get started with game number 2 momentarily. Stick with us. All right, so it looks like, in fact, Kevin did win. He moved all of those counters over to Walking Ballista and then shot his face off. So Kevin goes up 1-0 here at Impact Gaming Center. So let's reset those life totals and get set for games 2 and potentially 3. Battle of 2 very, very aggressive decks here. Looks like Brendan's already ready. There's Kevin. This is the bane of live coverage, is shuffling, mulliganing, all those things, sideboarding. Sideboarding's fine. We can talk about sideboarding, but it's one thing that when you're playing on Arena or Magic the Gathering Online, you don't really have to deal with. It's shuffling. All right, Brendan's hand, I don't know if he has a land. Doesn't look like it. He's got several 0 drops, so does he risk it for the biscuit here? He decides against it. Didn't get a good peek at Kevin's hand, but he decides, yeah, we're going to go ahead and mulligan as well. And we will shuffle some cards. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. As I said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, hang out, follow, do all the things, comment, you know, be a part of the action. Make your voice heard. Didn't get a good look at how either player sideboarded, so hopefully they each have better 6s. Well, That hand looks like 3 lands and a bunch of spells. Brendan gonna keep. Ooh, Kevin gonna have to unfortunately mulligan. Is that a no-lander for Kevin? Didn't get a great look until until he was putting his cards back into the deck, but it looked like from my perspective, it was unfortunately a no-lander. Rough. So that advantage bar, if we had one, would be slammed in Brendan's favor at this point. On a mulligan to 6, Kevin going to 5. Hopefully he can find a fine 5. Alrighty, Kevin. He's got 3 lands. He gets to put 2 back. He's got an Ancient Stirrings. He's going to probably keep the Ancient Stirrings, I would imagine. Patchwork Automaton, and I didn't quite get a... Oh, Grove of the Burn Willows. Going back and forth, back and forth. I believe it was... All right, here we go. Inspiring Vantage. We are off to the races here. Voldaren Epicure. That's going to make a blood token for Brendan. And that dice is a blood token. Patchwork Automaton, the draw. Here's Beseju. And Ancient Stirrings. So we'll get to see what he can grab. Haywire Might. Urza's Saga. Another Ancient Stirrings. Can't get that, obviously. And it looks like a bunch of lands. So Urza's Saga, Haywire Might, and 2 lands, the possible gets here. Off of this Ancient Stirrings. He looks like he's going to take the Urza's Saga, probably the best choice. Haywire Might potentially could do something, but Kevin elects to take Saga. Alright, back to Brendan. Shocks himself to play the Sacred Foundry. And he's going to destroy Gleeful Demolition to get 3 tokens. And we are going to do the thing. We're convoking. And here comes the Loxodon. And here comes a ton of +1/+1 counters to all of Brendan's critters. This is going to be hard for Kevin to keep up with here on turn 2. He's got Urza's Saga, triggers. Already counting. Let's zoom in and take a better look. There's Patchwork Automaton. But Venerated Loxodon is huge on this board. A 4/4 and a ton of 2/2s rather. 3 Goblin tokens and a Voldaren Epicure. Brendan just drew, I believe, Ornithopter. He's in tap 2 mana. Ooh, Bushwhacker kicked. That's going to give everything +1/+0 and haste. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, I believe. That's Xaxes. If Kevin doesn't block. Or does he go to... He goes to 2. Okay. Fair enough. There's a Grove of the Burn Willows for Kevin. He's got 2 Ballistas, but does he have anything that can really... Yeah, we're going to game 3. We are going to game number 3. As Brendan was able to take it down. And that's exactly what he needed to get back on the board here against Kevin. Game 3, Kevin will presumably be on the play. And the best, the best 2 words in Magic the Gathering, Game 3. So here we go. Hopefully they restart the the life totals here. Switch back down there. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. But yeah, both players wanting to get off to a quick start. Both players obviously playing very, very aggressive decks. I'm going to go reset their life total for them real quick. All right. As soon as I got out there, they had just reset the life totals. Let's see. We got lands and spells. Kevin looks like he's got some things happening. Got a 1-lander, I believe, on Kevin's side. It's like a 3-lander on Brendan's side. Oh, Brendan keeping. Kevin keeping. We're off to the races. Here we go. All right, there's Hardened Scales, namesake of the deck. And there's the new Thraben Inspector. Novice Inspector. Does the same exact thing. It is a 1-2. Brendan gaining life is pretty good. Ancient Stirrings needs to hit a land. We did find a Saga. I'm sure that's what we're going to be taking. Yep, there's a Saga. Pick that and probably play it immediately. Yep. Play the Ozolith. Basically copies 4 through 8 if you're playing 8. I don't know how many he's playing. So the Ozolith puts counters on itself whenever a creature gets counters. And then at the beginning of combat, you can remove those counters and put them on a creature. Mem Knight for Brendan, so that must have been what he drew for the turn. Otherwise, no reason to not play it last turn. He's going to lose 1 life, go to 21, thanks to that Grove of the Burn Willows. Oh, wow, and this is a Leonin Relic Warder. And when it enters the battlefield, you get to exile a artifact or enchantment, and he is electing to exile Hardened Scales. And Halo Hopper, it has Convoke, and it is a 3-2. So not the scariest Convoke creature in Brendan's deck, but he has amassed a pretty decent board where Kevin has not really assembled much. All right, taking a look. We've got Walking Ballista, Agatha's Soul Cauldron, and some lands. It looks like he's going to take the forest, maybe? Yep. All right. We got a Walking Ballista inbound, it looks like. Patchwork Automaton, sure. And a pass back. So do we have a Bushwhacker kick this turn? That'd be pretty good. I'm not seeing it. Oh, he has 2 of them. That could go back-to-back turns, be pretty deadly. Brendan back up to 22 from the Grove tapping. And here's, I believe, Bushwhacker. Back down to 21. Bushwhacker. Haste, +1/+0. Relic Warders at 3-2. We're just swinging out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll let him do the math. Down to 5, so 15 on the attack. All right, here is Urza Saga. Gonna make a mana. Gonna grab Haywire Might, maybe? Brought Haywire Might to the front of the deck. I didn't quite see the other card. Needs to come up with something quick, though, that's for sure. Game 3, round number 2 here at Impact Gaming Center. Friday Night Magic. We got 27 players playing in tonight's FNM. And probably the same amount, if not more, just hanging out playing some casual Commander and other games. People playing Pioneer. We have Pioneer on Mondays. Commander, free Commander every single night of the week. We are open 7 days a week. Zabaz and Haywire Might are the 2 cards that he's contemplating, it looks like. Looks like. Is it going to be Zabaz? What? Kevin can't decide. You gotta make a decision at some point. In the tank. Brendan's kickback, relaxing. No, he's got the upper hand right now. No, he has another Goblin Bushwhacker in his hand. This decision might not matter, even if Kevin can clear up enough of Brendan's board to not be dead on a crackback next turn. This other Bushwhacker in Brendan's hand is probably going to be the death knell for Kevin. He just doesn't know it yet. All right, so Zabaz is going to come in with the +1 counter on it. Walking Ballista, which triggers Patchwork Automaton. And there is Arcbound Ravager, so he has built up a pretty decent board here to potentially block. He's got 4 blockers. We'll see. Kevin might have dodged death here. Getting I think he's getting counters ready. Thinking about what he wants to do with the Ozolith / Arcbound Ravager. There's a lot of interesting things you can do once Arcbound Ravager's on the battlefield. Ozolith also creates infinite possibilities. I don't know if he's going to be able to deal 21 points of damage, especially this turn. That would be something. I think he's right now just going through the motions on what he can do. I don't think he's actually... He might be now, but... If he can mow down his whole board, that would be very, very good for Kevin. Clear up the board. Then that Bushwhacker wouldn't be doing a whole lot. He's figuring out... Looks like we got 11 counters that's going to be distributed somewhere. What a board state. Gotta be big brain to play Hardened Scales, that's for sure. Counting up all the toughness on Brendan's side of the table. Does he want to go all in and just mow the lawn, as it were? You would think he's got to do something. And he can always do it he can always remove the counters from Walking Ballista at instant speed. He doesn't necessarily need to do it immediately. It's still just, I think he's just thinking about it. So I don't think any of this is like official. Leaning so forward, so far forward in his seat, we can't even see his face anymore. It's just a chair cam. All right, there's all the counters. It is on Walking Ballista. He can start to mow the lawn. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 counters on Ballista. Counting up, he'll just kill everything. So that leaves 2 counters, and he gets back his Hardened scales. Again, he could have done that at instant speed. He decides he wants to do it on his turn. Very good turn there for Kevin. Ozolith showing its strength in this matchup. Being able to store counters on it and then put them on Walking Ballista is very, very powerful. Just passes. Wow. Land go. So here is another Hardened Scales. And there is Ink Moth Nexus, the big brother to Blink Moth. I guess younger brother, technically, came out later. All right, we're going to crack the clue, lose a life, go down to 18. Plays another land. Ornithopter. Tap 4. Lose some life. Bushwhacker. Bushwhacker. Double kicked. Just attacking. Are we attacking for everything? Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think he can fire up one of the Blink or Ink Moth, probably the Blink Moth. He's gonna shoot the 2 Bushwhackers. So he'll take 2, go to 3. Brennan says, yep. Does he want to block, though? He'll just take it. Drops to 3, I believe. Well, maybe not. Kevin. In the tank here. Yeah. Is that what you want to do? If it were me, I would probably want to block with the Blink Moth. Yeah. Because the Ink Moth could just one-shot him. Randomly. Not next turn or anything, but... Yep, and that'll be that. Well, I drew something good. There's a welding jar. Let's take a look at your graveyard. 3 Bushwhackers. And he's going to fire up Ink Moth. That'll be a poison counter. Walking Ballista died? What do you mean? Crack and draw a card from one of the Horizons in? It's a miss. Not sure I follow. There is Voldaren Epicure. Gonna make a blood token. And wow. So Brendan right back on the board here. Lethal Demolition. 2 great cards on top of Brendan's deck there. There's Patchwork Automaton. Pass back. Man, Brendan's so close. Down to 12. We're going to try and find an answer here. Oh, okay. That's fine. After he died. Lock the Epicure, and we're going to regenerate. Patchwork Automaton down to 1. Kevin, what you got on top of your library? And there you go. Brendan going to take it. In 3 games, Brendan Ray beats Kevin Thomas. Moving on to 2-0 here at Impact Gaming Center. Again, if you are in the area, St. Louis, Metro East, we're in Fairview Heights, Illinois. We're open till midnight tonight. Come on up. You can play some Commander casually or whatever. Coming up, we got 22,000 square feet of gaming space. We've got a 24 PC LAN center. We're having a lot of fun. There's 27 players playing Modern tonight, and about that many, if not more, playing Commander. We appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, follow. We do this every single Friday, and I appreciate the person who just followed. That's our 69th follower here on Twitch. Nice. But I appreciate you. We will be back momentarily for round number 3 of 4 here at Impact Gaming Center. See you soon.